Hello and welcome to my channel again. As you may agree, many people want a high-paying job. Not just today, but since the several centuries in history, this has been the case with us humans, isn't it? Simple fact is that we aspire gratification, and that's not a bad thing at all if done systematically for a justified cause, that is. However, what we need to realize is that we really need a highly rewarding career and not just a high-paying job. In this particular video, I will give you 6 secret essentials which will guarantee you a great career. So make sure you watch this video till the end and do not miss any of the critical details I'm going to share with you. Subscribe to my channel if you find my content useful and if you would like to be notified about my future videos. My name is Navaneeth Seshadri and I am a leadership coach for specifically the AI workspace. You may be wondering, what's the difference between aspiring for a high-paying job versus a highly rewarding career? Well, the difference is in your mindset. It's about whether you think short-term or a long-term. Consider it similar to the difference between a day trading versus a long-term stock investment which you use for asset building. Although both intend to make money, the strategy and visions vary in perspectives between these two, as you might know. When it comes to a high-paying job, you may be overlooking many aspects of your job and life in order to get that money. Your focus is purely on the money, and hence all the other aspects of your career and life automatically blur themselves in the background. They become no longer as important. However, if you look at a rewarding career, you will be more long-term based in your thought process. Being career focused, you would prioritize your personal fulfillment, your work satisfaction, as well as your skill growth in balance with your high income goals. Your emphasis on job satisfaction and your sense of purpose would actually be very high when you seek a highly rewarding career than just a high-paying job. You would be focusing on continuous learning and your skill upgrade all the time on the long run throughout your career. You will most probably be following your passion when you look at it long term in your way of thinking. As a result, your work will be more enjoyable to you most of the time. Let's look at the real deal. How can you guarantee yourself a highly rewarding career in that case? Irrespective of whether you are a mid-career professional or a junior recruit or a senior industry veteran, for all of us, in order to achieve a highly rewarding career goal, it all starts with our career vision being precisely planned out. Imagine a racehorse, for instance. A racehorse which is only running within the encircled boundary installed by its owner. After a long time running and running, the horse would feel very tired, but it would not have even left the fence to go anywhere. But it is very real that the horse ran several hundreds of miles. Now, what's the big use? The running horse reached nowhere even after expending so much energy and becoming so much tired. What mistake did the horse do? It just ran in all directions in circular fashion. Without a clear vision, we too end up like this racehorse without going anywhere. Many people say having a clear vision is important, but that is exactly where most people also have a problem. Let me ask you this now. How clear is your own career vision to you? Do you have it all sorted out, all perfectly made up in your mind? If so, well and good for you. For your vision to ensure its successful attainment, it must satisfy 3 attributes. 1, it must be realistic, it must be achievable, and it should closely align with your personal value system coming straight from your upbringing and family values. If any of these 3 attributes are not aligned, the vision is just going to remain a dream. Reason? Because if it is not realistic and achievable, you will lack confidence and faith, and if it doesn't align with your value systems, you will lack the emotional involvement and passion needed to make the vision a reality. How do you first understand what should be your career direction and vision which will have the maximum probability of your success? This is what we will discuss now in the first secret essential. Let's go to the number 1 secret essential. You need to understand your own personality traits. You may be wondering now, what does my career have to do with my personality? Believe me, that's exactly where your career success actually lies. If you don't know how to do it, let me help you here. For starts, you can base your understanding of it on Holland's Riasek theory of 6 personalities. The sixth personality theory, as defined by Holland, deals with realistic, investigative, artistic, social, enterprising, and conventional as the six personality traits. Realistic people are the doers who are interested in involving with physical activities. Investigative people are thinkers and they like more of mental work. Artistic personalities are the creative people who like the work involving artistic thinking. Social personalities are interested to help society in some way. Enterprising types are leaders who are persuasive in nature. And conventional types are the people who are extremely organized and conventional in their work approaches. I will give you a moment to observe this. Remember, you may have more than one of these personalities inside you. Yes, you heard me right. Each of us have a combination of all of this in varying proportions within us. The most important thing is to identify the primary, the secondary, and the tertiary of these personality traits inside each of us. What defines us is the top 3 predominant personality traits out of these 6. Once you are done identifying your top 3, let's understand the next essential or the next secret what you need to do. You need to then match your personality to your career of choice. Once you know your top 3 personality trait combinations based on the theories such as RIASEC, you should identify the most relevant job role that suits your personality trait. For example, a person who is both investigative, artistic as well as enterprising, in that order of top 3, let's say. In short, let's call it IAE personality. Such a person would be highly unlikely to be successful running a hotel or a restaurant as their career of choice. Think about it. Although the career as a hotelier could be extremely lucrative, hotel operations including food and beverage as a job role involves following instructions and helping others on a day-to-day basis to ensure the business is profitable. When your personality type is not a lot on social and realistic, would you consider this job boring or toxic, or would you really enjoy it? It depends on your take on it. Obviously, you will not be a great success at it if you are not interested. As a result, it might not reward you with a high pay on the long run either. Such a person, as in our example, who is an IAE personality combo, would rather enjoy a career option such as a film or a video editor per se, isn't it? Why? The reason being, that role would involve developing, designing and creating new digital products with artistic contributions matching their thinking and artistic interests. Along with this job role also would include identification of objects and actions during the editing work, which suits their investigative interests as well. Now, which of these 2 jobs, among being a hotelier versus a film editor, do you expect this person to add maximum value to? And which one would give him the highest income and superior quality outcome from him that he would bring about him? Any idea? Yes, you're right. Clearly, the career as a film editor is the best choice for this personality trait combo. Since there is no career which is a bad career, there is only a bad match to one's personality that we need to watch out for. This is where you need to focus your career move in the right direction for your own self if you want to really make a 360-degree impact on your life and career. If you feel you are in any need for any personalized help in identifying your own personality traits and or deciding the right career path for you, you can book a call with me and we can explore if we can be a good match to work together in order to help you to attain your great career success. The link to book my calendar is right in the description below this video. Let's move on to our next secret now. Let's say you have identified your personality traits and you have narrowed down to the most suitable career options for you. Maybe you have listed down the top 5 or top 3, whatever you might have done. Now, what you need from here on is how to portray your self-image to the one offering you the opportunity in the form of a job, maybe your hiring manager or the recruiters. For this, you need to create a fun-do resume and you need to ensure it is ATS compatible. I've heard many people say that they have had excellent experience and skills listed on their resume, but when they apply for a job position, they don't even get a single call from a recruiter or any hiring manager. Why does this even happen? Have you ever faced it? More than 98% of the Fortune 500 and almost all recruitment firms use ATS, which is the applicant tracking system, to aid in shortlisting the resumes. If you are sure you are the right fit for any of the jobs but you still are not getting the needed interview calls, it could be due to any of the following reasons or maybe all of them. I have been a victim of this myself at some point in time. The problems could be, number one, either your resume is too long and lacks specificity, or your resume keywords are not aligning with the job description in context at all, or your resume is not having the visual appeal that actually is desired of it, or it could be all of the above. See, the best practice of making a resume is to keep it not more than 1 to 2 pages long. You need to try to fit all your content and summarize it within these 2 pages in a way in which the recruiter can appreciate and the ATS can send it through. I recommend keeping your professional headshot on top of the page 1 with your core resume content, starting with your career objectives section. After the career objectives section, you can follow it with your skills and competencies section, which is then something that you can follow with your employment history summary section. The employment history summary is where you list all your experiences in reverse chronological sequence, which is something you might already know. Of course, you need to mention the start and the end of your tenure in each of the jobs here, at least by year and month wise. This section can be followed by any of your specific differentiators or achievements if you have anything, which will give you the moat or the differential uniqueness from other candidates. Keep in mind that in all of the above 4 sections, you need to ensure to include keywords which are compatible with the ATS and the job description for which you are applying. That is when your resume will get shortlisted, otherwise it doesn't. In other words, you need to definitely customize your resume for each job and run it through a simulation via a resume optimization app, something like JobScan, to maximize its compatibility with the ATS for the specific job that you are applying. I know it's a lot of work, but it is definitely something you need in the current job market as of today. Next secret essential is to network. I cannot stress the importance of networking. As the saying goes, your network is your net worth. Job search on portals and through marketplace only works until a certain stage in your career. Once you reach mid-career and above, the number of openings actually reduce. Some of you might have already seen this. And most of these kinds of openings are filled before they are even announced in the market. The candidates for these positions usually would be from within a close network, or they get candidates only via specific recruiter channels. Either way, in order to get the visibility into such openings and to maximize your growth prospects using such career opportunities, you need to be part of those networks to get the right intel at the right time in order to take the right action of application. Believe me, the worst time to begin networking is when you need some help or need something. So how to really network? Let's look into this. You need to develop a relationship with people genuinely, and it has nothing to do with your personal chemistry. You may have a beer or a coffee with some people, but not necessarily with everybody. You need to maintain personal relationships, not just with the people you like to mingle with, but also with people who actually need you and have demands for you. Also, you need to remember this, you need to network with people whom you do not like also. This is the key. Since the workplace is so culturally diverse today, the networking is not only to be limited among the people with affinity, something like same demographic and culture, but you need to develop relationship with people from completely other parts of the globe who have totally different perspective about authority, ethnicity, and so on. It's very important to have diversification in your networking. Please do note that the network is enriched only when you are not in a sense of urgency. This is very important to remember. If you need something from them, that's not when network is going to get nurtured. Only then, if you follow all this, the relationships that you build can be used in a perspective of a future problem or an opportunity for which you can leverage it, which needs strategic attention. This is where you will understand each other and help really happens there. In your case, when you need a referral or an insider info for a job prospect or opportunity, this already nourished network can actually help you very much then. Let's move on to the next secret essential. The fifth one, the image or the brand called you. I assume you are phenomenal at your skill and you know you belong to the top 1% of the people in your niche. Let's assume this for an instance. However, what's the point if you are just considered as one among the crowd by anybody in the corporate world and they don't even know how to differentiate you from the rest based on your uniqueness? What does this tell you if that is something that you are facing? You are not required to be the best. Please remember, you very much are required to be the best known. To have a great career, you need to focus on building your personal brand image. Especially in the highly digital world today, where people are at great physical distances but are just a click away on the social media, this is all the more important because of that. Contrary to what some people believe, building your brand does not mean bragging about yourself. It is your reputation. It is how people perceive you. It is what people think about you when they hear your name. And this is also what they talk about you when you are not in the room. A study by Upwork actually states that 85% of the hiring professionals, which includes recruiters, said that the employee positive online reputation influenced their hiring decisions. Having a clear goal and deciding on what you actually want to be known for are the prerequisites to building a personal brand. It is not about you at all. Please remember, it is all about the people who can best benefit from your unique talents and skills that the brand building is all about. I will give you two must-haves in order to build your brand in this video. First one is your personal branded website. This would give you an independence and flexibility to brand yourself however you like. The second and the more important one is your posts and comments and interactions on social media. You need to ensure you add valuable content which is of interest and use for both your colleagues and industry professionals and peers in your area of expertise. More importantly, you need to be consistent in this activity and continuously you have to keep learning and upgrading yourself. Now, let's move on to the last but not the least secret essential. Number 6. Learn to be an excellent communicator and a negotiator. You definitely need this skill no matter what point in your career you are. Consider a marvelous chef who has cooked a wonderful, sumptuous, delicious supper for the guests of his restaurant. Let's say the food is ready and looks palatable. Let's say there are so many dishes for the supper and many of the customers are eagerly waiting because they are hungry. However, let's say the waiter comes and serves the wrong dishes to the wrong customers at the table. Unfortunately, what do you expect happens then? The customers are obviously unsatisfied and then they summon the chef to complain that their dish tastes awful. Some of the customers who complained are not even aware that their dish is not the dish that they ordered at all. The mistake was not in the dishes, but how it was served. How would you feel if you were that chef? Well, this is how it would be if you are an expert in your craft but cannot communicate or articulate what you intend to say in a way in which the person on the other side can clearly understand. You should also know that an impact and connection is usually built not by what you say but how you exactly say it. Communicating effectively is critical to gain respect and to clear job interviews. It is also needed to be able to sell your ideas or products or services, whatever may be the case, depending on your corporate ladder level that you are in, or even if you are an entrepreneur. Negotiation skills on the other side are the key to ensure you get the deserved and the desired results of the services that you actually render. Knowing the techniques of how to arrive at a win-win amidst all the varieties of situations that you might encounter, this is an art in itself. You must master this art in order to do well in the business world as well as in your career. While you negotiate, you need to remember to get your emotions under control. Take it off totally, whatever emotions you might have with the opposite party or the other person. Even your relationship with them should not influence your negotiation. The negotiation needs to happen based on both of your interests in the outcome rather than your position in negotiating. You need to identify what criteria fits the good solution to both parties before beginning to negotiate. You also need to try to find more than one solution option if possible before finalizing on the negotiated outcome. These 4 things, if you can keep in mind, it will give you a better leverage to close amicably all your negotiations as a win-win. With this, we have come to the end of my video. I hope you got immense value out of this. Please subscribe to my channel to get notified for further interesting topics from my side in the future. Thank you once again.